Using a smartphone seems to be one of the easiest tasks for anyone nowadays. But there are some very simple yet important things that people get wrong while doing so. Are you guilty of committing any of such mistakes? Hi guys, I'm Isha Kapoor and welcome back to another video by Fossbytes.com. Today I'm going to tell you about 7 ways of using a smartphone that are totally wrong. But don't worry, I'm also going to be telling you about ways to correct these mistakes. Also, the 7th point is a really important one. So stay tuned till the end. And before we begin, let me remind you to hit that subscribe button and more importantly the bell icon, because that is what will notify you whenever we upload a video. So let's begin by talking about how different apps want access to the microphone, camera or even the contact list. And we end up giving them that access. Why, you ask? Well, because we're stupid like that. For example here, why is this game asking me to grant access to my phone's location when it clearly doesn't require that to perform any function? Such games normally ask for location access to target ads. But by giving access to such popular apps, we get into the habit of granting access to every app that asks for it. And that gives way to the problematic apps to blend in and find a spot on our phones. So what do? How do we keep the data on our phone safe? Well, there are various things here, but first off, download only those apps which you can trust easily, such as the ones from trusted developers or the apps which have been marked as editor's choice. Look for points that make the apps trustworthy. Do not download just any app that may seem nice or useful to you. Second off, don't keep your GPS or the location services on all the time. Apart from the obvious battery drainage, it keeps you exposed all the time. It increases the risk of you getting tracked. To minimize this risk, it's a good idea to keep the location access as while using the app instead of always for all the apps. Moving on to the second point, and this one's related to Google Maps. Do you use the Google Maps correctly? Now, if your destination is a very popular and common place such as the India Gate or is a famous restaurant, then the common way of using Gmaps is correct. Put in the address and then get the directions to it. But if there is a place that you visit very often and that has a super complicated address, then this method is absolutely wrong. It's wrong because it requires you to rack your brains trying to get the exact pin location of these complex addresses. So instead of that, just save these addresses with personalized names. And then whenever you need directions to these places, just put in the name and that's it. Another good point is that it becomes super convenient to book a cab to a safe destination via Google Maps. Let's move on to the third point. This was related to a habit that our mothers have been trying to instill in us since forever, but hardly do we ever follow it. At least I don't. It's about being organized. Our smartphones give us the option of arranging all our apps in separate folders and placing them in an order that would be convenient to us. But what do? We just let the apps take the default places wherever and let them be. Now the problem is that it not only looks bad and chaotic, but whenever we unlock our phones and spend unnecessary time flicking through the pages looking for the desired app, it takes up a substantial amount of our time and some amount of our phone's processing and battery. This issue might seem small and insignificant at first, but it can actually add up to become a bigger one if it occurs frequently. So the easiest solution is to club all the relevant apps together in separate folders and then place them accordingly on the screen. For example, I have clubbed all my social media apps here and all my food related apps here. Now since these are the ones that I use the most, I have placed them right on the front page, so I don't have to waste any time in getting to them. The fourth way we use our smartphone wrong is when we don't use the camera app efficiently. And this is ever more frustrating when people with high-end phones mess up their photographs. See, I get that not everyone is into photography and that not everyone enjoys it equally, but when the phone is only offering you help to click good pictures, then I think you should take it. I mean, aren't these the features that you paid a hefty price for? One of the most unused yet superb features of any smartphone camera is the grid. It enables you to click great photos by mechanically making you set a good frame. It makes you get the orientation of the photo right and also helps you create a sense of symmetry. I have no idea why people don't prefer using this feature, but it really enhances the look of the photographs. The next point is regarding the phone storage. It's true that smartphone manufacturers are continuously increasing the phone storage capacity, and that gives us the leeway to store more photos, music and apps on our phones. But this habit of filling our phone's memory to its brim is a very wrong one, because memory crammed up with old photos and deleted apps tends to affect the performance of the phone by making it slower. So instead of waiting for a pop-up notification asking you to clear your phone's memory, it's a good idea to time and again clear it of the unused apps and old photos by taking constant backups. Another point worth mentioning here is that people have stopped restarting their phones. Guys, that's not a good idea. Not restarting the phone for a long period of time also leads to cluttered RAM and slower performance. Yes, with technological advancement, the phones are getting more powerful, but rebooting them every now and then definitely helps preserve memory and prevents crashes. Next up is the keyboard of the smartphone. Now I know you must be thinking, how can someone go wrong in using the keyboard? But if you're not using the correct one and its features to your benefit, then you're totally doing it wrong. So firstly, the default keyboard is not the only one that you can use. You can get any other keyboard which might suit your needs better. For example, Google's Gboard is a very popular option out there. And people across the globe can use a different keyboard to write in their native languages, just as I use Hindi keyboard whenever I want to write in Hindi. Secondly, the keyboard has many features which enable you to type faster and more efficiently. One of the best features that I use all the time is this. So basically, whenever we want to use a character that isn't there on the main QWERTY display, we normally click on this button. Then we use the character that we want, and then we have to click back on the ABC again to get back to QWERTY. But this trick lets you use the special characters way more easily. You just have to touch this button and then without lifting your finger, select the wanted character. After that, as soon as you lift your finger, the keyboard gets back to QWERTY automatically. And just like this, there are several other hidden features of the keyboard that can boost up the typing speed. Let us know in the comment section below if you want us to cover these hidden features in another video. The last and the most important point that we'll discuss today is about the FOMO syndrome, something that most of us are suffering from. For all of you who do not know what FOMO is, it stands for fear of missing out. Mobile phones, and for that matter any technology, was invented for our benefit. But with time, we have let our phones take in charge of our lives. People just can't stay without their phones. They often express that they feel handicapped without them. Now tell me, what will happen if you don't check your phone that often? Or if you don't check your phone the instant that it beeps? You will probably not be the first one to know about the latest meme, or say you might miss out on the latest upload of your favorite YouTuber. But so what? How is that going to affect your life? There are several ways the overusage can have a negative impact on your health. So to help people keep a check on themselves, most smartphones have started displaying the activity or the screen time as part of the digital well-being initiative. Use this feature well to get over this anxiety that has tightened its grip around all of us. Alright guys, that's the end of the list and this video. Now it's time for all of you to go bonkers on a comment box. Tell us what you liked, tell us what you did not like, and we're also open to all kinds of suggestions and other feedbacks. So go ahead, do it. Also, do like and share this video if we managed to bring out something new for you. Anyway, it's time for me to go now. I'll see you all again soon. Till then, don't forget to keep smiling. Okay, bye.